gobble up too much time. I didn't mean to get started, man. Don't start on it. And by the way, that's my grandson, Bo, up there, and my granddaughter. Don't let him jump. At any rate, you know, we got to get on with this. First of all, the votes are in. They've been counted and verified. There's no ballot stuffing. There's no foul play. The only red wave this season is going to be a German Shepherd commander knocks over the cranberry sauce on our table. That will cause... They are big turkeys, aren't they? My fellow Americans, please welcome the 2022 National Thanksgiving turkeys, chocolate and chip.
Not for nothing, but when the entire Republican mantra of a red wave is reduced to a punchline at the annual Thanksgiving turkey pardon, that probably doesn't bode too well for the GOP. Here, Joe Biden took the opportunity for an easy swipe in the aftermath of a dismal Republican performance in a midterm cycle that history suggested would be a home run for Republicans, given the fact that Democrats control the entire government, not to mention the fact that Biden's approval rating is still a bit underwater, and that inflation is high. And that was obviously the talking point heading into the election, which is evident in moments like this.
Red wave rising. That is the focus of tonight's angle.
It's going to be a wave election, and you're going to lose the Senate, and I'll bet you $1,000 right now.
The knives are being sharpened right now for Joe Biden.
You know, Democrats are going to get crushed on November 8th because a red wave is coming.
But I'm betting that Joy will learn 2 new words on Tuesday. It's red wave.
How big could that looming red wave get?
We begin this Sunday morning with expectations of a red wave this Tuesday.
I think this election is going to be a red wave. I think we're going to win.
You know what? I think, you know, your predictions of a red wave are accurate. And the reason I say that is because now even the mainstream media is catching up.
We've been hearing, is it going to be a red wave? Is it going to be a red tsunami? I think it's going to be a red hurricane.
When the red wave comes, and it is coming, Joe Biden's political utility is over.
Are we in for a red win here or a red wave?
Red wave or red tsunami? What are you feeling today?
I'm feeling red wave.
And, well, you know the rest. But the fact that the whole red wave narrative was so thoroughly believed is indicative of a broader problem here, and that is that Republicans made the political decision that they needed momentum heading into the 2020 election. And so they very famously and obviously flooded the zone with a bunch of bogus partisan polls, showing them leading by sometimes double digits compared to other polls. And then right-wing operatives in the media began to reference their own polls as evidence of shifting momentum, which gave way to the whole red wave narrative, which was then picked up by the rest of the media. Now, 2 problems here. First, we have to acknowledge that right-wing media is not real. They are propagandists operating in propaganda outlets. They wanted to manufacture the idea of a red wave, and so they quite literally did. Fox News is not real news, Newsmax is not real news, OAN is not real news, Breitbart and the Daily Caller and so on are not real news. These are outlets dedicated to the success of the Republican Party, and far from simply reporting on what's happening, they're actually working to influence what's happening. Operatives? Yes. News? No. But the second issue here is that the rest of the media, the so-called mainstream media, took its cues from those people. People who, again, are partisan actors whose goal is to help Republicans. They're not operating in good faith. So the idea that the media should treat them or their talking points as anything other than propaganda is not only a mistake, but a mistake that will leave you looking like gullible tools of the right, which is pretty much what happened during this election cycle. What the right understands that the left does not is that information is being weaponized right now. Republicans do it shamelessly and openly, and the left continues playing by the old rules where we all pretend that rules still exist. And until and unless the left and the media more broadly begin to recognize that the right is not acting in good faith, they'll continue to have a leg up and will continue getting rolled by their propaganda machine. But in the meantime, good on Biden for taking this very, very well-deserved victory lap and not shying away from taking a very, very well-deserved jab at the right. And hopefully that's a reminder to the entire media to think twice about adopting Republican talking points in the future. Before you go, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. You can click the thumbnail right here on this screen. And if you want to support my work even further, the best way is to subscribe to my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen. There you can check out my interviews with major players in the world of politics, including President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, Katie Porter, Jamie Raskin, and so many more. Plus other interviews that live exclusively on the podcast. That link is also right here on this screen, or just search No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen wherever you listen to podcasts.